Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 22, the marriage of Kardama Muni and Devahuti, verse number 6. Dishtya me Bhagavan Drishto Durdarsho yo Krutatmanam Dishtya Pada Rajas Prishtam Shrishna me Bhagavata Shivam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. It is my good fortune that I have been able to see you, for you cannot easily be seen by persons who are not subdued the mind or controlled the senses. I am all the more fortunate to have touched my head, the blessed dust of your feet. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The perfection of transcendental life can be achieved simply by touching the holy dust of the feet of a holy man. In the Bhagavatam, it is said, Mahat Padarajobhishekam, which means to be blessed by the holy dust of the lotus feet of a Mahat or great devotee. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Mahatmanastu, those who are great souls are under the spell of spiritual energy, and their symptom is that they fully engage in Krishna consciousness for the service of the Lord. Therefore, they are called Mahat. Unless one is fortunate enough to have the dust of the lotus feet of a Mahatma on one's head, there is no possibility of perfection in spiritual life. The parampara system of disciplic succession is very important as a means of spiritual success. One becomes a Mahat by the grace of his Mahat spiritual master. If one takes shelter of the lotus feet of a great soul, there is every possibility of one's also becoming a great soul. When Maharaj Rahugana asked Jadabharata about his wonderful achievements of spiritual success, he replied to the king that spiritual success is not possible simply by following the rituals of religion or simply by converting oneself into a sannyasi or offering sacrifices as recommended in the scriptures. These methods are undoubtedly helpful for spiritual realization, but the real effect is brought about by the grace of a Mahatma. In Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura's 8 stanzas of prayers to the spiritual master, it is clearly stated that simply by satisfying the spiritual master, one can achieve the supreme success in life. And in spite of executing all ritualistic performances, if one cannot satisfy the spiritual master, one has no access to spiritual perfection. Here the word akritatmanam is very significant. Atma means body, soul or mind, and akritatma means the common man who cannot control the senses or the mind. Because the common man is unable to control the senses and the mind, it is his duty to seek the shelter of a great soul or a great devotee of Lord and just try to please him. That will make his life perfect. A common man cannot rise to the topmost stage of spiritual realization simply by following the rituals and religious principles. He has to take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master and work under his direction faithfully and sincerely. Then he becomes perfect without a doubt. Thus in the Bhaktivedanta purport.
Manu is remembering or recalling or describing to Karma Muni about his most fortunate situation of having met him. Not only after having met him, after having an opportunity to touch the dust of his feet. Even though Manu is a very powerful king, he says that it is not easy for somebody to have darshan of you. Because real saintly persons, they do not simply mix into the spiritual, into the material world. Of course, we are now a preaching movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But in a normal sense, sadhus, sannyasis don't... People go to sannyasis, sannyasis don't go to people. They seek after such spiritual persons. They seek after tapasvis. Usually these tapasvis are in the place of pilgrimages. So people go to the place of pilgrimage, then they take their blessings. This is the culture, Sanatana Dharma culture. So here we see that Manu is praising. He's praising the value of the dust of the lotus feet of a great personality. We have been, in the last class we discussed about how a devotee is always seeking transmission of mercy from top to down. And there are unlimited ways in which this mercy is actually transmitted. And we can list so many things which for our senses, like prasadam, by contacting the prasadam we get mercy with our tongue. By having darshan of the deities we get mercy. By hearing Srimad Bhagavatam we get mercy. By worshipping Tulsi Maharani we get mercy. By taking Charnamrita we get mercy. Now one more item is here, which is highly potent for making advancement in spiritual life. What is that? The dust of the lotus feet of a pure devotee. This is not metaphorical. It is actually the real dust of the lotus feet of a pure devotee. If one is able to place the dust on his head, then one gets special mercy. These are all ways of receiving the mercy which are not phenomenally calculatable through some material phenomena. What is the value of a dust? Take the dust of the lotus feet of Prabhupada, here is deity. Whole day deity is here. Some dust will collect. Right? And that dust is so powerful. The effect of this, dust of the lotus feet of the spiritual master, contact with the paraphernalia of the spiritual master, they are all same. There's so much mercy that one gets. See, mercy means what? Without paying something you get. If I pay something and buy something, that's not mercy. If I pay the price of something and get it, that is not mercy. Mercy means what? You don't have money to buy. Still somebody gives you. So Prabhupada's mercy is like that. We don't have punya, we don't have great assets, spiritual assets, neither material assets in terms of punya, yet thousands are getting bhakti. So, this is the meaning of mercy. Our mind is always used to transactional thing. That means, I pay for it, I get it. But our spiritual relationship with the deity, relationship with the holy name, our relationship with the spiritual master, our relationship with Vaishnavas, we cannot think in terms of a transaction. What do you get from Srila Prabhupada? No, I get transcendental knowledge. How do you get transcendental knowledge? Because the books are there, I read, I get transcendental knowledge. Just by reading you don't get transcendental knowledge. When you read, Prabhupada should act on you through these pages, then you get transcendental mercy. Then you get mercy. Then you get understanding. Then you get realization. So one should understand that reading Prabhupada's books or anything, contacting any of the forms of mercy of the Lord is not something that can be mechanically, ritualistically achieved. That Prabhupada explains it. Just by ritual, one cannot, get bhakti. Even if one chants 16 rounds, it may help, Prabhupada is saying. It may help. But he will have no access to spiritual perfection. Access to spiritual perfection means you have to get the personal mercy of a pure devotee. Not general mercy. General mercy is available. Prabhupada's books is available everywhere. General mercy. Personal mercy means, yes, Prabhupada gets linked to you. When you get initiated, he links to you. And he is your personal spiritual master. He is not only teaching you, there are so many other things he is doing to you. He is monitoring to you. He and Chaitya Guru together is monitoring to you. Monitoring your growth, spiritual growth. Just like a student has to be, taught personally. You see, when you go to the school, 100 students are taught by the teacher. Right? After that there is tuition. In tuition, what does the tuition master do? Where is he particularly weak? Then he will give him special lessons, personal care. Simply reading Prabhupada's book is like sitting in the classroom and reading. And Prabhupada's action upon his disciple is not just that. We need to understand that Prabhupada is actually aware of the disciples' level of spiritual attainment. He is aware of where the devotee is having problems, not material problems, in getting detached. All that he is aware of, and then Yasya prasadat, Bhagavat prasadat. One is constantly receiving knowledge from within the heart of the disciple is receiving in order to make advancement in spiritual life. Therefore, the Vaishnavas always say that I am made up of the mercy of my spiritual master. Whatever I have is a kripa of my spiritual master. If I have some standing, if I have some detachment, if I have some attachment, it is given by my spiritual master. I have not earned it. He believes it. I have not earned it. Why? Because he understands that actually by any bodily action, by tongue, moving your tongue 16 rounds and all, you cannot get bhakti. You can get bhakti when you move 16 rounds, it will give you some foundation. But ultimately, you have to get the personal mercy of the spiritual master, which comes by, here Prabhupada is giving that secret here, by serving a bona fide spiritual master. By serving him, one gets that. Because the common man is unable to control the senses and the mind, it is his duty to seek shelter of a great soul or a great devotee of the Lord and just try to please him. Just see, do service to him and try to please him. Then, even if you cannot control your senses and mind, still by his mercy you will purify. Very soon you will be able to control your senses. Very soon you will be able to control your mind. So therefore, one should understand that the easiest, though we may do all the exercises that we are trying to do, so many secondary instructions are there, control this, samas, damas, tapa, all these things are there, titiksha, all that we are trying to follow all those things. Those are all, while following those things, one should understand that the result of, the real perfection or the result of all that comes only by the personal mercy of the spiritual master. And this has to be practiced by the devotee because you don't see with your eyes. It is a matter of faith from this Yasya Prasadat Bhagavat Prasadat. Every day we are singing. But we cannot see how it is happening. When you see something, if somebody gives you something, gross in your hand, you say thank you. Because you see he has given. But we have to learn how to transcendentally see this through the descending process, that every day we have to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Every moment we have to go on saying thank you, thank you, thank you to Srila Prabhupada. To Guru and Krishna. Continuously they are giving. So what is the spiritual process of spiritual advancement, spiritual progress in our sampradaya? It's always beg for the mercy of the devotees, beg for the mercy of the Vaishnavas. Then one may think, what is my role? Shouldn't I do anything? No, one should do, but one should understand that what one does is simply to show our attitude to the spiritual master. That I am serious about it. I want your mercy. I am serious about following your instruction. Just like the story in Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada explains about the sparrow trying to recover her eggs from the ocean. She was so determined that she was trying to take out drop by drop water through her beaks and trying to empty the ocean. But finally, obviously, by material calculation, can a sparrow empty the ocean? Not possible. Her goal was what? To get the eggs back. But then she got mercy of Garuda. She got the egg back. Why was Garuda attracted? Because of her determination. In the same way, to attract the mercy of the Lord, it is not the quantum of skill, the quantum of what you are given and all these things is not what? The attitude. If the attitude to attract the mercy of the Lord is there, then what you need, Guru will give. Whatever you need for his service, whatever you need for your advancement, the Guru will bestow upon us. So this is a process by which, we need to balance effort and mercy. So what is the value that you give to your effort, to your sadhana, effort, And in your mind, what is the value? As far as doing is concerned, your effort you have to do. But as far as result is concerned, one should not think my effort was a very big factor. As far as doing is concerned, yes, I have to do. I cannot spare anything, I have to do. As far as result is concerned, oh, I chanted so many years very nicely, now I have advanced. You can say that. I have chanted nicely so long by Prabhupada's mercy. My chanting has become fruitful, I got mercy. You can say that. You cannot take away Prabhupada, you cannot take away Guru's mercy. So these are some of the fundamental principles of the sources of advancement for any Vaishnava. Every day one should see that mercy is coming dynamically every day. Like last class we discussed, every day you go for Mangalarti, every day you are receiving. Some of the things that you receive you can't even be conscious. It is going and influencing your subconscious. It is changing you. The Shabda that is coming changing you. What you hear in Bhagavatam class, everything your intellect is not what grasping it. If one is submissive, the feelings go inside into subconscious and changes. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, all the Rajoguna, Tamoguna, everything will be destroyed simply by hearing Bhagavatam. So one should have a lot of faith that I am what I am because so many things I have got. One should not think I am what I am because I have earned so many things. Because I have chanted so much. Because I have done so much. All those things. One should not think like that. One should always, you should also think, no doubt. I know, I'm happy that I could follow Prabhupada's instruction. One should take pride in that also. But not in terms of that created the result. So the result is always by the mercy. Just take always that comparison of sparrow. Was it her emptying the ocean that got the egg? No. There is no connection at all. In the same way, devotees can achieve so many wonderful things. There is no connection between effort and result. One side effort he is putting, but the result something else. Huge results happen. So that is because of the mercy of the spiritual master. Just like let us say we hear Srimad Bhagavatam class. It is said that one has to submissively hear. You can submissively hear, you can intellectually hear also. When you intellectually hear, you will only get the ideas. When you submissively hear, you will get the feelings of the speaker. When somebody speaks, he speaks what? Ideas, feelings, realization, right? He speaks. When you submissively hear, then the feelings also you get. And the feelings go, the transformation that happens for a person is faster when you can get the feelings of, let's say, Prabhupada's feelings. If you put a filter of only intellectual thing, Prabhupada is, let's say, Prabhupada lecture you are hearing. Okay, philosophical, all these things, intellectually you are adjusting. But Prabhupada says rascal. Then, it is nothing philosophical. It's not a philosophical idea at all. You get the feeling why Prabhupada is calling this fellow rascal. So that submissiveness is, if you have submissiveness, how will you have submissiveness? Only when there is anticipation you will have submissiveness. Otherwise, you would be submissive. Oh, I am expecting something. Anticipating. So anticipating mercy of deity, you go before the deity, you have to have anticipation. It not mean specific prayers, but there is mercy coming. Chanting Hare Krishna, you have to have anticipation of mercy. Being in the presence of a spiritual master, you should anticipate. So there has to be preparedness for receiving this mercy also. And the rational mind is the biggest enemy for all these things. The rational mind. Sometimes devotees get stuck in this rational thing for whole life. Everything they intellectualize. They sit in the class, they intellectualize. They go before the deity, they intellectualize. They take association, they intellectualize. You want to make rapid progress, then you have to understand the vibration of every situation. And then right from descending process, that mercy will come and quick advancement will make. A common man cannot rise to the topmost stage of spiritual perfection simply by following the rituals and religious principles. Just take shelter of bona fide spiritual master and work under his direction faithfully and sincerely. Then he becomes perfect without a doubt. Any questions? Mike.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, as you said, rational mind is a big barrier in being very rational is a big barrier in spiritual life. You said. You mentioned that being rational.
Being rational.
Yeah.
Being only rational.
Only rational is.
Only rational.
So, Prabhu, what should be the the level to which we should be rational, and how to be, how to understand this in a better way?
You see, rational, when you are, it's a good question. Everywhere rationality is there. The issue is about being over-rational. Just like you say, Bhakti and Vedanta. Vedanta is a rational part. Bhakti is not the rational part. It is the mercy part. So, in order to glorify, in order to appreciate, in order to one uses rationality even in bhakti. When rationality is not used to understand the mercy, then it becomes speculation. Just like you say, one truth you receive, you don't understand. Philosophically, you don't understand. Now, if you go deep, going on and on and on and, speculating too many things, then you are over-rational. You need to understand that the rational understanding will come so smoothly at the right time. I have to do more service. We can all rationally analyze and so how to control the senses and all these things. Rationally analyze. That's what the Mayavadis, impersonalists do. Very rationally they analyze what is self-concept and this and that, all those things. And as devotees, when the right time comes, he comes out of the bodily concept. Now, that's what it said. When you have bhakti, you have knowledge also. Bhakti never stands without knowledge. There is knowledge always. The very foundation is knowledge. Bhakti is not, foundation is not ignorance, it's knowledge. Knowledge of truth. Tattva is always there as a foundation. So, how much we should apply our intelligence, don't over endeavor. If that intelligence is not coming to you now, serve, continue serving. You will understand. So that is the extent to which you should exercise put all your efforts in serving, put your efforts in appreciating the mercy of Prabhupada, all these things. Any other question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. You said, Prabhu, that we should put our all effort and anticipate. So, how should I be sure that the effort which I am putting in my devotional service is my all effort? Or we may be sometime in the miser condition also, that like I may think that I am putting all my effort, but I may not be putting.
You should put all your efforts, but not think that you have put all your efforts. While putting the efforts, you should think, I should put best of my efforts. But should not think that actually whether I put the best or not, I do not know. Maybe I withheld so many things inside. You should not say, I put my best efforts. You say, my philosophy in life is to put best efforts. But whether I really put a best efforts, I don't know. So even if, something fails, he will say that I have not put best effort. If he succeeds, he will also say, I have not put best efforts, whatever was lacking Krishna and Prabhupada gave, and therefore I did it. Okay? Grandharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.